Okay. We're still 5 minutes. Okay, sounds good. You know, I actually might snag a pen and sorry, I should have printed one out. I mean, I can use my phone, but it's just cuter.
We're participating in all the choir achievements. Those were informative, weren't they?
And we could go down to Douglas for 4th of July.
If you want to just hold on to it, because otherwise it'll be, you know, I'm standing up, sitting down.
About 50. They said that my cousin's son is down there, maybe coming under town to St. Louis. Later in the month, so I could go down for them probably.
Yeah.
If it actually happens.
Yeah.
When you're coming from Prague, when you're coming from Arkansas.
Wow.
Yeah, my cousin's son, the twins, but they're doing about 7 brothers.
Hola, pa.
Son ended up never took her, so he married her. And he said
Hey, watch this. I'm gonna sneak in a smile. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I just want to like write one right here, like
Yeah,
McDonald's.
that's smart. Yeah,
Do you have any permanent markers?
I'm sure we do.
I'll have to come early next time. I'll have to come early next time.
Yeah.
you can come on, people will be here today.
Morning. Answer your phone.
Good morning.
Morning.
And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Urbana-Champaign. I'm doing my best to talk to the whole circle. The microphone is our concession to accessibility and streaming for everyone who wants to be part of today. In a perfect world, I would be simply sitting in the circle alongside you and speaking from my seat. My name is Reverend Sally Fritchie. I am the Associate Minister of this congregation, and I am so glad to be here with you. We are streaming live from our fellowship hall, our air-conditioned fellowship hall here on Green Street. Know that in whatever format you find us, whether you are here with me in our circle of chairs, whether you are watching online, streaming from this phone that is in our circle with us, or whether you are tuning in weeks or months later, you are welcome here, and this service is for you. When you arrived, you may have noticed you were asked to choose a color-coded lanyard to indicate your comfort level with things like handshakes, hugs, close talking, or sitting near each other. We have a mix of yellow and green lanyards this morning, it looks like, so look around and be aware of the comfort levels of the people that you're with while we're all together. You might have noticed, if you've been here before, today's service doesn't look quite the same as it usually does. The chairs are in a circle instead of in rows. I am standing here instead of behind a pulpit. You were not handed an order of service when you came in, and there are no hymnals under your chairs. This marks the beginning of our summer services, a time when there are more lay-led services and more loosey-goosey formats and experimentation in what worship can look like. Today is a reminder that the way we do things is not the way that we must always do things, and a chance to experience something different. This congregation also chooses to begin every gathering with an acknowledgement of the indigenous nations of this land. So I ask you to center yourself, find your roots, connecting to the earth below us, and know that here on Green Street, we worship on the land of the Kickapoo, the Peoria, the Miamua, and the Sioux. And these are peoples who still exist and who are still committed to a struggle for survival and for the sustaining of our shared earth. May we always remember where we are, who belongs to this place, and the sacredness of this earth. Amen. And now, as we do every Sunday, I will light our chalice. Oh, I meant to also say, there's no order of service, there's no hymnals, but we will be singing. And what that means is that you are invited to surrender to the flow of the service. You are not responsible for keeping track of what's coming next. That falls on me and on Emily, our music leader today. She is going to be teaching us some songs in a very friendly line-by-line way. And we know that we can trust her to, am I still going through? Okay, we know that we can trust her to lead, and we will follow. So in that spirit, our chalice lighting words are a call and response. And your guys' part is, we are not alone. Can you practice saying that?
We are not alone.
So I'll say a line, and then I'll gesture to you all, and you know what to say. This is written by Michael DeVernon Boblet. We are not alone. We are this flame, ancient as the stars, new as the vulnerable spark.
We are not alone.
We are this chalice, ringed by the spiral dance of searching.
We are not alone.
We are the light soaring, the shadow deepening, the dance between them.
We are not alone.
We are the heirs of ancient ancestors and their fires, the healers and their circles.
We are not alone.
We are here. We are here for ourselves. We are here for each other. And
We are not alone.
amen. And I hand us to Emily for opening hymn.
Well, I think this hymn is familiar to most of you. Come, come, whoever you are. but for the sake of accessibility, I'll teach it line by line. All right, I'll sing it once and then we'll break it up into lines. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. All right, let's just do it all together. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Very good. We're going to break it up into two. Okay, so this half and this half. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Again. All right, this is the time in our service when we have a story or a game or activity intended to be accessible to people of all ages and stages, all learning styles. I had a lot to choose from. I was thinking of circle games. I almost made us all play Duck, Duck, Goose. But what I decided on was, has anyone here ever done the wave? There are things that can be done in circles that cannot be done in straight lines, and the wave is one of them. So today I'm going to lead us in a meditative wave. The plan will be to go 3 times around the circle, and this is for, if you want to stand, I invite you to stand when you do the wave. If you just want to stretch your arms up, you can stretch your arms up. The first time, it'll be a languid, long stretch to the sky. You stand all the way up, reach as high as you can, and then sit back down. And as the wave goes, for those who don't know, the wave is when in a stadium usually, or in a crowd, people raise their arms up and you go right after your neighbor. So wave, 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 wave. Wave, 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 wave. All the way around. So the first time around we'll go slow and relaxed. The second time around, a little bit quicker, and the third time around, as fast as we possibly can. Without cheating, because you have to wait for your neighbor to go, right? It's about watching the energy of the circle and following along with it. So do we feel ready for a slow wave? All right, I'm going to start us right here and go this direction. So everyone here, you want to start us with a nice slow? That's very nice. Beautiful. All right, and a little quicker. Whoa. All right, ready? As fast as we can. Very well done, very well done. It's important to let our bodies move as well as our minds and our hearts while we're together. So at this point, anyone who wants to attend our children's religious exploration and engagement downstairs, and that is children of all ages, parents, if you'd like to attend with your children, or you're welcome to stay up here. Our volunteers are standing over there, giving their own wave. And you are invited to head in that direction as we move on in our service. You're also invited to stay as long as you like. This will be a fireful, but otherwise all ages service. All right. What's next is, as you can see, I'm not preaching from a script, I'm preaching from an outline this time. So when I forget what's next, you all can remind me. And what's next is Community Matters and our offering. So as Unitarian Universalists, we know that we are deeply connected to the world around us. We are not just a congregation, we are not just a church building. So I would ask that you keep an eye on your e-news weekly newsletter. If you don't get that, I would urge you to subscribe to it because it is absolutely overflowing with opportunities to be in touch with this community, get involved, show up, find support yourself, everything that you might need from this church. And you should know that fellowship hour today will be right after church out on the lawn. Should be a lovely sunny time with coffee and snacks for everyone. I also wanted to announce that as of this morning, we are welcoming a family of 3 from Nicaragua to stay in our church youth room, and that's through the Immigration Justice Task Force. They're planning to stay for about 2 weeks, and we are going to be needing meals, support, supplies. They truly arrived here with just the clothes on their back, and we really want to show up for them and welcome them here to Champaign-Urbana. So if you want to learn more about that, you can email IJTF, that's for Immigration Justice Task Force, IJTF at uucuc.org. Or if you know Marilyn Ryan or Pam Richard, get in direct touch with them because they are helping to coordinate this effort. Final reminder, next Sunday is RE Water Day after church. So if you like sprinklers, if you like water balloons, you are invited to wear something you don't mind getting wet and have fun out on the lawn with all the kids. It should be a really good time. All right, every Sunday we pass the plate and we share our offering with an organization doing the work of justice in the world. This is an important part of our mission as a church. Our shared plate for July is the Brennan Center for Justice, which I will hand us off to Sandy Hannum, who can explain a little bit about what they do.
The Brennan Center for Justice is our shared offering for July. They're working to create a USA that is democratic, just, and free. Today, we're in a great fight for the future democracy in our country. The Brennan Center is a think tank rigorously researching important issues and finding transformative solutions. They're an advocacy group working with elected officials and fighting in court for change. And they're a communications hub, getting the message out to help create a well-informed public. Some of the key issues they're working on now are 1, voting rights, working to get Congress to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and to block states from enacting oppressive voting laws. 2, gun control, working to enact tighter gun controls and to change the Constitution with the times. 3, reproductive rights. Now that we have lost the federal protection of Roe versus Wade, states will have to fight much harder for these essential rights. 4, reforming our systemically racist justice system and ending mass incarceration. 5, reforming money and politics working to end Citizens United, because corporations are not people and money is not free speech. 6, rethinking and reforming policing and public safety in our communities. Many of us share these concerns, and it's gratifying to know that we have the expertise of the Brennan Center for Justice working toward the same goals. They deserve our support.
Thank you, Sandy. You can donate online through our donate portal. You can write checks made out to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Urbana-Champaign with a shared plate in the memo line. No microphone.
Try the connection at the base.
Cord must be.
There we go. Okay, mystery solved. Can you hear me now? Yes, you can. And the basket will be passed here in the sanctuary. Checks and cash are welcome. Anything you give will be gratefully received and put to work making a difference in the world. The collection will now be taken. I'm going to do my best not to touch the microphone since now we know it has a wiggly cord. All right, I know none of you can see the order of service, but the one in my head, this part is titled, Why a Circle? I felt I had to explain a little bit about why it was that I was in here this week moving chairs around and putting a lot of candles on this table. And it's because I've been thinking about how it is that we as humans gather together, the many different ways that we gather together, and the things that I've seen in other faith communities that communicate something about their values, their picture of the world, and how they choose to arrange themselves physically in space. I know that when Muslims gather for prayer, they all face toward Mecca, that the person leading the prayers also faces toward Mecca, rather than toward the gathered group of people. That communicates something about what is important. I know that in the Amish community I visited a few years back, in church, the men and women sat on separate sides of the sanctuary. The eldest were in the front, and in age order, it went back from there. And when they knelt to pray, all of one side of the sanctuary faced forward and knelt. The other side turned around and knelt against their benches, which they explained was a remnant from times when the Anabaptists, from whom they descend, were so persecuted that they were worshiping out in the woods and they needed to keep watch for attackers while they had their heads bowed to pray. And that communicates something about their history, about who they are as a people today. So of course, I was looking at, what do UUs do when we gather together? And there are two very distinct answers. I grew up as a UU, and so I went through the experience of moving from youth worship to grown-up church. And the thing is, youth worship is always in a circle. And it can be a real shock to your system when you show up to church on a Sunday and you're expected to sit in a pew and look up at someone who's in a pulpit. It's completely unfamiliar. It's a completely different way of being together. In youth worship, there's no order of service. There's a lot of flexibility, a lot of trust. Kids know that they have to go with the flow of what the leaders have planned. There's usually snacks. There's usually a lot of lighting candles. I think partly because fire is fascinating for young people. It's a little forbidden. But also because there's something really sacred about the amount of trust and the safe kind of risk that comes with fire. There's something very gentle about the patience you have to have when you hold a wick to a flame and wait for it to catch and carry it onto a second wick. I think there's a profoundly centering experience that the youth get to have that we in grown-up church don't get to have so often. So that's why a circle today. I know that there's a tradition of having the youth lead a service usually once a year, and that's an experience for them of getting to try out putting on a grown-up service. But what I really wanted was for the grown-ups to try on a youth service and feel the experience of that style of UU gathering. And again, the reminder that the way we do things, in pews, in rows, with a pulpit, is not necessarily the way that we all do things or the way that we must do things. So today, I wanted to center the lighting of candles, center the experience of what the youth do, which is essentially long check-ins with each other. I have been in circles of youth that just go into the night at lock-ins of lighting candle after candle after candle after candle, sharing their deep, deep sorrows, their incredible joys, their just hilariously petty dramas, but sharing with each other in a ritual sense, and it becomes this really sacred practice. There are lots of UUs who, if you ask them, might say that the most sacred part of every service is joys and sorrows. This is the part of the service when we invite people to share what is on their heart, what they are carrying into the space to share with us today, the things that they want the community to pray for, things that they want to be congratulated for. We want to celebrate together, we want to mourn together and support each other through everything that life brings. Normally our joys and sorrows are 3 to 7 people who share really big life milestones. And today, I am just expanding that to be as capacious as we need it to be. And what I would like to invite us to do is for every single person here to light a candle. We're gonna have music playing. We're gonna just go around the circle to light a candle either in silence or to light a candle and step to the microphone and just share a joy or a sorrow that is on your heart today. Something that you want the community to know is going on for you. Something that you need our prayers for. And again, silence, perfectly okay. Like I said, the experience of lighting the candle is a little prayer in and of itself. And if you're concerned about getting up here to the table, when it comes your turn in the circle, just give a little wave. And I will take this delicate microphone over to you, or take a candle over to you, or both. And we're going to use the model of our wave to tell us which direction we're going. We'll start with the front row here. Go around the front row, second row, third row, etc. And as the youth practice, it is always okay to say pass. Consent is a fundamental value in our UU spaces and in our UU youth programs. It is always okay to say pass. So know that this is invitational, not required. This space is for us to just hold everything that's going on in this community and in our own hearts. So with that, let's just take a breath. And know that silence is a member of this conversation as well. And that it's not awkward, it's restful. So when we have long pauses, it's a beautiful time to breathe. It's a chance to rest. And with that, I will invite our first joy or sorrow to light a candle. If you are online, you can still send them in to joysandsorrows@uucuc.org. I will read all of the online ones at the end, so you have plenty of time.
I light a candle of thanks. Sandy is feeling well again today. She spent last Sunday in the hospital with what turned out to be positional vertigo.
I have a joy for our 4 grandsons who are so much fun, but I have a lot of concern for the future, the world that we're leaving to them, the environment, and some of the things that are going on in this country. I worry about what it's going to be like for them. And I would like to feel more hopeful, but sometimes I don't.
Most of you probably don't know me. I only started attending recently. My name is Brennan. I returned to Urbana after being away for a little while for things beyond my control. I've been housing insecure for the last month. I have places to stay and roofs over my head, but I don't have a place of my own, and that might be changing soon. With a little bit of luck and a little bit of perseverance, I think I found a place, and by the start of next month, I might have a home again. And that's what my joy is for.
I recently got hired as a creative writer for a company, and I'm going to be writing my first script for a video this week. So I'm very excited about that.
My concern, as some of you know, my mother went into the hospital with a stroke on Wednesday. The joy is that she is back at home now, resting comfortably. Physically, she's doing very well, but she's really struggling cognitively right now. So prayers, positive energy, good vibes are always appreciated.
I'd like to pass. Well, I'm here in St. Louis. Usually I'm in St. Louis for 4th of July weekend, but my brother and his wife canceled the barbecue. Maybe I get to go down later in the month.
Choice is a beautiful thing. I'm not gonna lie because it makes me nervous. But like all of you, I want to be the light. I want to be there for others. I want to have friends. I want to communicate. And so I'm really glad to be here. I drove 17 and a half hours with just my dog and when I got in my truck. And I'm starting a new beginning. It's an amazing thing when you start out with nothing. It's also a scary thing, but I'm learning so many lessons about life, about people, and the people that are there for you when you need them. It's just a beautiful place to be this morning. Thank you.
June was a busy month for my family. My daughter and her partner Terrence both had birthdays. My granddaughter graduated from high school. And I'm so sad that my granddaughters, because I have a younger one too, have to refight the same fights I fought.
As a future midwife and abortion provider, I've been sitting with a lot of sorrow this week for all of our community.
I have a group of 10 friends that we've been together since college, nearly 50 years. We've been like family, even though we live all over the United States, sometimes out of the United States. We haven't really had 2 years go by that we haven't all gotten together. And 2 days ago, I attended the funeral of the first one of us to pass out of this world. And I just feel a mixture of sorrow for the loss of my dear Pam, and just immense gratitude for this friendship that we've all shared and how rare it is, and that we can be family for each other. And also a gratitude just for life, that, you know, no matter how difficult it is, and it is at times, and we have kind of unprecedented, maybe it's not unprecedented, I don't know, but obviously a lot of problems. But life is so precious, and there are just moments that it just feels so wonderful just to be alive, you know, no matter what else is going on. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for life, and I'm grateful for every moment that I can be alive. Thank you.
I'm thankful for so many things, but as I was sitting there, I thought, I'm really thankful to be part of this congregation that's willing to experiment and willing to share.
This week to North Carolina eventually, and that's a exciting and sad. I wanted to visit here again. I hadn't been back since the pandemic, because this is a special place, and I am particularly grateful for my Soul Matters group.
I'm lucky that my family is doing well, but every time I open up a newspaper, I am scared and depressed and wondering what we're going to leave to our children and our grandchildren. It's a little extra hard this summer for me because I usually work in my gardens every summer. That's good, healthy practice for me. This summer, I'm struggling to keep my beloved gardens alive and watching some plants die anyway. I'm limited in what I can accomplish in this flash drought. So even though I can see my family going on a pretty even keel right now, it's still a bit of a rough summer, I think, for all of us.
It's my joy to share that we are expecting after many years of trying.
As she just mentioned, we're really excited to start a family, and also this weekend a lot of good friends are visiting from all across the country, and some of them I haven't seen in person since the start of the pandemic, so it's been really wonderful just being with everyone again.
Anthony's mom in California has dementia, and so we are in the position of working with someone who is strong and independent and smart and mostly told other people what to do and having to make decisions for her that she isn't very happy with. So that is our challenge. Last weekend, my sister and my best friend threw me my first ever surprise party, and we all gathered in Meadowbrook Park, and they had painting kits, and we all painted rabbits together. It was the best party ever.
Able to come to the congregation for a while, and now I can.
Offers better than anything I expected, and I'm sorry that I had to turn one of them down.
Is a joy on some days and a concern on other days. We, as some of you know, we moved my 99-year-old mother-in-law from independent living in Ohio to a nursing facility in Gifford just a few weeks ago. And some days it's a joy, and we're her closest family, so Todd and I spend most of our days in Gifford, wanting to make her final time on earth good, because she's been a wonderful joy to us for, well, 40 years, I guess. She's been like a mother to me, so. Thank you.
sobriety for a long time, 10 years or more. And I was in enough fog. It was terrible. I couldn't see the world the way it was. I couldn't see myself the way I was. Fog is lifted now. It's no longer affecting me. And for the first time in my life, I'm doing well. All the other times I thought I was doing well, it was a delusion. So I'm just grateful beyond belief. I have this enough clarity and be myself. Over the course of the years, it's been many decades, I've been afflicted with addictions. Often comes with PTSD. And
gentlemen from Spain who very dearly love my parents. And unfortunately, surrogacy is not legal in their country. And so they applied for agencies throughout Europe and were turned away because they're a same-sex couple. They got connected to my agency in the US, and we were so local. It didn't work out. So we'll have another cycle of hormones and transfer in another month or so. I'm a praying person, but if you could send some positive vibes for Victor and Jonathan are their names for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
A great joy. Yesterday, our 14-year-old grandson, as a member of the Symphony Orchestra of ISYF, Illinois Summer Youth Music Program, performed on the stage of the Great Hall in Krannert. And at lunch afterwards, he was describing to us the basement hallway in Krannert where many of the performers had signed their names on the wall. He had a very real sense of the significance of being on that stage. And Sally, I trust you to like
This reminds me of Operation Snowball, because we had feelings with it. And this is feelings. I am grateful to be here. I've always been invigorated by this. And when Sally mentioned this on Wednesday that this was happening, I said I had to be here. It's been a while since I've been in feelings with it. But this is wonderful. Thank you.
lot of energy, but so very cute. And our other pet, Olivia, who is Her Royal Highness, is really adjusting. She's not met them yet because she's still kind of, she's still angry. but yeah, so we are adjusting to the life of 3 cats. So yeah. Friends who are facing serious health challenges. They're in my heart. I hope you'll be there first.
Tuesday is the 6th anniversary of my wife Ania's passing, and tomorrow some of her family is going to go visit the tree that was planted for her environment in Urbana. And anyway, she would like that.
Between joys and sorrows, and I'll just bring a small joy to you today. I enjoy gardening, and although I can't do much of it, I especially enjoy daylilies. They live one day. Each flower lives one day, and so I love getting up in the morning, seeing what is there today. And I brought some of them with me today, and they are what you see now will only last a day, and life is short.
I have a joy. My latest granddaughter, Lilu Puppy. And also president. Whatever.
Hi everybody, it's good to see you all. I haven't been here since the pandemic started, so that is a great joy. I have a sorrow and a joy today. The sorrow is that my wife and I are working on a second parent adoption, thinking about potential threats to marriage equality and wanting to protect our two children. But the joy is we were gay rights activists in college, and this isn't our first rodeo. So I've never thought the law had a particularly good grasp on who deserved what, so I'm ready for more of the same.
And we lived in Silverton, Colorado for years and years and years. And we came here because we had kids, and that's one of them. And it's been good. It's been good. But I had to leave when my daughter, my husband was not right. And I have to live my church, all of my friends. We were there for about 36 years. They were there. And when he understood, he couldn't see me. He didn't know who it was. So we had to come here because we had two girls here, and this place here is helping me. So I don't do this,
If I'm not mistaken, that's all of us. I will try and speak loudly, and if you're having trouble hearing, again, I invite you to come up to the front row. Don't be afraid to move around. I apologize for our technical difficulties. Many thanks to all of you who have shared. I'm looking at this phone so I can share the joys and sorrows that were written online. A joy from Christine Cahill, who writes, "My husband Michael and I recently returned from a trip out east where we went camping, visiting Acadia National Park and Martha's Vineyard, and seeing family in Boston, Brooklyn, and Columbus, Ohio." From our Reverend KB, who writes, "In the midst of the dark storms in our world, I continue to be grateful to the countless points of compassion and love." From Adrian Summerlot, "Joyful that our family is healing from COVID, celebrating the opportunity to serve as consultant this past year. What a tremendous joy it has been." Here written on a card from Steve, among my friends and relatives, 5 have gotten the Omicron variant of COVID, but none required hospitalization, and all stayed home for a few days and made complete recovery. So thank God for the good work of our physicians and scientists who develop means to overcome this fearsome scourge. From Michaela Cruz, "A joy. This week our family celebrates the 10-year anniversary of the life-saving surgery that gifted us with a decade of time with our precious daughter." From Sam Bashir's, Kathy Robinson stood next to me in the tenor section of our choir for a couple of years. We supported one another and we had fun singing. This one's from Andy Robinson. He writes, "Oh, Mom died in her sleep last night. Saturday, July 2nd. She had a beautiful celebration of life service on Friday, surrounded by family and friends. Many of you were attending on Zoom, I believe. She was feeling great all weekend, with a recent remission from the leukemia symptoms, and had a wonderful outdoor picnic last night, under a rainbow with kids and grandkids. Thank you so much for all your help and making her service everything that we wanted." All I want. There are sacred spaces that are made sacred by priests, by holy water, by cleansing flame. And this space is made sacred by human stories, by the stuff of our lives shared in vulnerability and truth. So thank you for making this a sacred space this morning. It would not be what it is without you. And know that everything you shared, the circle can hold it all. That is what's so powerful. In a circle, we are face to face and side by side at the same time. Everything that we have to bring, we have the strength to share and support each other. I am so grateful for everyone who is here today. Know that you are loved, that you are valued, that you have contributed something really meaningful to this space. And may this energy that we've created, the sharing that we've done, continue to flow outward and between us in the weeks and months and years to come, because we are going to need it. We are going to need to rely on each other. So take a breath. And we're going to begin to close our circle with our blessing song, which we usually sing before Joys and Sorrows. And today will serve as a collective prayer that we sing to each other and to ourselves. The song is May a Long-Time Son, and I will hand us over to Emily to help lead us through that song. It will serve as our meditation and prayer today. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the beauty of your
today, our chalice extinguishing words will be our chalice lighting words. You might remember your part was, we are not alone. I invite you, if you are comfortable holding hands with the person next to you, to take their hand. If not, simply put your hands on your heart to feel the connection that exists there, the connection to life, the life that we have in common. We are not alone. We are this flame, ancient as the stars, new as the vulnerable spark. We are not alone. We are this chalice, ringed by the spiral dance of searching. We are not alone. We are the light soaring, the shadow deepening, the dance between them. We are not alone. We are the heirs of ancient ancestors and their fires, the healers and their circles. We are not alone. We are here. We are here for ourselves. We are here for each other. And we are not alone. Amen. And go in peace. Our postlude will be a sung postlude while I begin to extinguish our many flames that we So we'll sing our flames away before we head outside to hug each other through green lanyards and air hug each other through
Let's do go now in peace. And a lot of us know it, so the words are go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go. So go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go. Again, all together. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go.
Thank you, and I will see you all outside. Please don't get yourselves a drink. Read yourselves.
Over my chair. A big job for this wonderful people.
It is, but I do.
What's that?
You're from St. Charles? Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's right here. Oh, yeah. Actually, a friend lived in and I just
Open again. Many places shut down.
sure enough, I love her.
You're on Zoom. You're not.
Yeah.
You just have to come by. So all the cars behind the building. I figured.
Thank you for asking. Well, I feel like I'm thankful for this service. I really like the music. I'm thankful that they asked me to do it. The state of the world is kind of scary with abortion rights and whatever, and democracy being in check, that feels scary. I haven't been scared of the politics in public. So, those are two. Thanks for asking.
I need to pack up my little box here.
And they're just like getting to like video editing and like content
Well, we joined when we first got here, but it was 2020, so I mean, we only started coming in person in March, so we were longtime members of a organization, you know, actually, that's how I feel like half the people get to me too. Yeah, I'm hoping, I think one of the things I felt that I've missed is like the children, you know, and a wider range of ages, so maybe in the fall. Because it's, there's just a like to congregation that has activities, so, and I know they exist. I think, you know, well, I think this kids could get vaccinated. Talking to them. Yeah, I realize that Sally's got it.
It seems like there's a good program for children.
Yeah. There was, they had a new member event a couple months ago maybe, where they were downstairs in all the different rooms. And I'm sure you can wander. I mean, it'll be a little while, but. To share the scenes of work?
I think we're starting to. We're 15. So we've been trying to just make sure so far everything's okay.
Sure. Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, I won't say that. It's your news, but. See you, Kristen.
Yes.